Hello students, welcome to our channel SD Biology Classes. In my last video, I have discussed about some important questions based on plant tissue. Today also we will do some more important question based on plant tissue and some questions suggested by you also I am going to discuss today. So students, let's start it. So here we have the important question number 1, that is, what is periderm? Students, do you know this term, periderm? Periderm is the term that means collection of phalogen or cork cambium, phloem or cork, and phaloderm or secondary cortex is called as periderm. I am repeating once again. The three layers during the cork formation, three layers, that is the cork cambium or phalogen, the cork or phloem, and the secondary cortex or phaloderm together called as the periderm. Now we have the second question. Why is epidermis important to plant? So students, we have already learned that the epidermal cell is present on the outer surface of plant body, root, stem and leaf. Now what is its functions? First of all, it gives protection to all parts of the plant. Secondly, when epidermal cells secrete some waxy substances, water resistant substances, then it gives the protection against loss of water and also gives protection against mechanical injury. And third, epidermal cells prevent the pathogenic attack. These three are the important functions of the epidermis. Now we will do question number 3. What is the basic difference among differentiation, dedifferentiation and redifferentiation? So first of all, we will know what is differentiation. The process by which meristematic tissue lost the power of division and change into permanent tissue, it is called as differentiation. So the example of differentiation is that when meristematic tissue change into the permanent tissue, then it is called as the differentiation process. So when the apical meristematic tissue can be changed into parenchymatous tissue, that will be due to differentiation. Now what is dedifferentiation? When permanent tissue regain the power of division, especially the simple permanent tissue regain the power of division, then this process is called as the dedifferentiation. This process is called as dedifferentiation. For example, the cells of the parenchyma tissue change into the cork cambium. During the formation of cork, we know that cortex is made up of the parenchymatous tissue. Some cells of the cortex, that is parenchymatous tissue, regain the power of division and become meristematic in nature, and they are called as the secondary meristematic tissue. This secondary meristematic tissue is also called as the cork cambium, and this cork cambium divide and gives rise to the cork cells and also the secondary cortex. So this process is called as the dedifferentiation. Now what is redifferentiation? Re means when the differentiation process occurs again. That means what? When secondary meristematic tissue again lost the power of division and returns to their original specialized form, it is called as redifferentiation. I am repeating the answer once again. Secondary meristematic tissue again lost the power of division and returns to their original specialized form. It is called as redifferentiation. The example is when the vascular cambia change into secondary xylem and the secondary phloem. Then that means during secondary growth, when the vascular cambium is the secondary meristematic tissue, they produce the complex permanent tissue, that is secondary xylem and the secondary phloem. So again from the meristematic tissue, they lost the power of division and change into the complex permanent tissue, secondary xylem and secondary phloem. That's why this process is called as the dedifferentiation. I hope you clearly understand the basic difference between differentiation, dedifferentiation and redifferentiation. Now students, we will see Another question, that is, name the living component of both complex permanent tissue. Name the living component of both complex permanent tissue. Can you remember the different components of xylem and phloem? Xylem, we have seen that most of the components are dead. Only the xylem parenchyma is the living tissue. Whereas in case of phloem, most of the cells are living, only the dead tissue is the phloem fiber. So in case of xylem, only xylem parenchyma is the living tissue, and the parenchyma is also common in the phloem tissue. So only the living component that is present in both xylem and phloem, both type of complex permanent tissues, are tissues that are present is parenchyma tissue. So parenchyma tissue present in both xylem and phloem tissue. What is the functions of the xylem parenchyma as well as the xylem phloem? Its main function is storage. Secondly, it also help in sideways conduction of food in case of phloem tissue, and sideways conduction of water in case of xylem tissue. So these are the functions of the phloem parenchyma and phloem and the xylem parenchyma. You have to remember that function also. Now, the last question, that is, name the plant from where commercial cork is obtained and write down the use of cork in our daily life. So, cork is a very important part in case of the woody plants, woody large trees, because it gives protection, not only protection from the external environment but also gives protection from different mechanical injury, pathogenic attacks, etc. So cork is very much important for the plant also, but cork is also important in our daily life also, as cork has some specific characteristic feature that they cannot catch fire easily, they are very light in weight. So we use cork for many functions, for preparing many substances. We use cork in our daily life. First of all, we will talk about the cork, that is, how can we use cork in our daily life. First of all, it is used as the insulator. Secondly, it is used as shock absorber, and it is also used to make sports good like shuttlecock. So these are the basic uses of the cork. Name the plant from where commercial cork is obtained. Commercial cork is obtained from a oak plant that is called as the Quercus suvae. This is the scientific name of the oak tree. Name is Quercus suvae. When you write down this scientific name, you have to underline the name. Here I have written in italics, so I do not underline it. So remember this name. It is very important for your any kind of exam in class 9 standard or in other standards also. So students, here we have some of the important questions from plant tissue portion. Already we have learned the chapter very well. We have done the very common questions that can be asked from the exam, and also we have done some extra questions from this portion. So students, I hope that all of you like this video very much, and in the next video we will start the animal tissue. Thank you.